Welcome in, welcome in. Today we're going to talk about your energy. Times we got to get the energy right. You understand me? I got to get on TikTok too, man. Got to do a live on TikTok. So, we're in 2025 going into 2026. And if you still have energy leakages in your life, meaning you have people around you that don't really serve your highest good. You got people that you have in your life that you're frustrated with, that you're in bad terms with. You're arguing. You're getting negative energy from this person. Even if you're not constantly interacting with this person, you kind of feel and sense them talking about you behind your back, or you know what I'm saying? They've done certain things that, you know what I'm saying, to hurt you or talk about you behind your back or sabotage, or, you know what I'm saying? Get rid of all negative energy, man, because it really changes, shifts the energy in your life, and it clears your mind. It clears you. Like when I cut off a lot of negative people that I realized was trying to play like a friend, but really was plotting on my downfall, or family members that did certain things, or just people that I've met in the recent years that's on bullshit. Once you cut those people out, yo, um, it's like everything opens up in your life. And that's why a lot of times you're not attracting the things that you want, because you still got negative energy around you. So how can God and the universe send in all these gifts and abundance, and, you know what I'm saying? How can you get the blessings that you need when you have people around you that will block your blessings, or that will try to sabotage what you have, or will try to just use you? A lot of times God won't send you what you need because you have the wrong people around you. And he knows what's going to happen. These people are blocking your blessings. You know what I'm saying? You got to get rid of the blessing blockers. Get rid of the blessing blockers. You understand me? So remove these people at all costs, man. Remove the negative people. These folks, they don't want you to win. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you smile. They don't want to see you feel. It's like when you have a great day, they have a bad day. Not because their day is actually bad, but because they see you smiling and happy. They don't want you to have a good day. They don't want you to smile. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to eat good. They don't. It's like some people are out there. They just really don't want to see you shine or be good. But you got to remove these energies. And I've cut off people in the past because off of the strength of, like, I'm not gonna try to maintain a relationship with somebody and we're like pretending like we rock with each other, but we really don't. You know what I'm saying? Where we trying to play like we cool, but we know it's like some hidden bullshit there. Like you can feel the negative energy. At least I can. At least with my instincts and my, like, you know what I'm saying, how I'm able to pick things up, you could kind of feel the negative energy. It's a negative undertone from the person. And you know, if you don't step away from this person, you got a sense, you got a feeling like something bad is gonna happen. You can feel it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So once I start cutting off a lot of like weird vibes, weird energy, the world will open up for you. Doors will open up. Opportunities will come your way. You'll start having more ideas. And when I really cut off a lot of negative people, it's like your nervous system relaxed. Your nervous system relaxes. It's like you feel calm. You feel like you could be bold. You feel like you don't have these negative people around you that's saying stuff about you, that's spreading, spreading rumors to try to make you look bad, or trying to mock you and kickle and cackle, mocking what you're doing behind your back. You could feel that energy just kind of go away. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you could feel that energy go away, man. So We gotta protect that energy, and it's not to always be on guard. It's not to always it's not paranoia. You know what I'm saying? It's not you doing everything at all costs to, avoid conflict. It's not avoiding conflict. It's not cowardly. It's just protecting your peace. Merry Christmas, said Ed. What's up? Merry Christmas. Yeah, man. So it's just about protecting your peace. What's up, Shamar? What's up, man? Hello, hello. Welcome in, y'all. What's up? The chat, man. Y'all finally showing up. I've been hard here for it's only like I've been on for 5 minutes just talking to myself, but I ain't even realized a lot of y'all wasn't talking. Yo. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm blessed, having a great night. We just talking. I know I'm trying to get to y'all, get to the people out there. You understand me? Because I want people to start evolving and growing and getting out of a lot of people. You got these negative energies around you. You got these leakages. Some of y'all got vampires around you. Some of y'all got folks around you that they pray every day that you don't win. They pray every day that you don't even. It's insane and it's crazy because sometimes these are people that wish you the best, but in return they're not wishing you the best. Um, and sometimes you don't know you got these people with these hidden agendas around you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be really, really discerning. So once you clear these energies away from you, once you get out of these negative environments, once you start to be around people that uplift you instead of tearing you down, it just opens up so much for you. Positivity coming away. Sometimes what you need to change is not getting more stuff, is getting rid of the bad stuff, getting rid of the bad relationships, bad habits, right? But a lot of times it's the folks that you have around you that affect you the most without you even realizing it, you know? But other than that, man, I'm just chilling and vibing and just here to talk, man, talking about everything tonight. I've been making some content for you guys, right? And we just on here talking, man, just building, working on that energy. Tonight is a little more spiritual. I get kind of spiritual, you know? My man said he nervous. What you nervous about, bro? Woody at, bro? You talking about Woody? Yeah. When was the last time you chilled with Woody? What's he talking about? That sound like some homosexual stuff you talking, cuz I might have to get you up. Hey, bro, I might have to get you up out of here, bro. So, and I want everybody to understand how important and key your energy is. Oh, okay, you're not all right. I thought you were trying to say some homo stuff, but you talking about Woody. You might have to elaborate what you're talking about. But yeah, man, energy is super important. Remove anyone who puts you in a negative space. Is what I'm saying. Remove anyone that has nothing but negativity. They're always bringing you problems. They're always criticizing what you're doing. They're always trying to plant doubt in you. Sometimes it may not be intentional, you know, but you need people around you that just give you positive energy and ignore all the negativity. The world is already as negative as it is, and your mind really controls your outcomes. What you think creates a frequency and vibration and allows you to attract good or bad, or not good or bad, but attract abundance or poverty, right? So if you're thinking you're in a negative space and you're being influenced by people, negative people around you, and you're not getting away from that energy, you can start to become negative. You can start to have negative thoughts. You'll start to attract negativity. You're like, yo, what the hell is going on? That's because you're on that frequency. You're on that lower frequency. So that's why you're attracting negativity, because it's a lower frequency that you're on. And sometimes what changes things is just removing and separating yourself from these toxic family members, toxic people, toxic relationships, people that are still mentally, some people mentally are still in high school and they just gossiping and talking about this person, talking about, they're not talking about anything productive. They're not evolving in their thinking. They're not going nowhere with, you know what I'm saying? They're not working towards anything, and that could pull you down. And now you start operating in that low frequency, and that becomes your mentality. That rubs off on you. And before you know it, time is going by, and you wonder, you had these ideas and these visions and these goals for yourself, but because of the people that you hanging around, you don't want to leave them behind. You don't want to seem like you fake. You don't want to seem all this stuff, and then before you know it, they pull you down with them. And sometimes that's what they want. Some people want to be around you and they don't want to see you surpass them. And if you attempt to surpass them, or not, it's not about surpassing them, but if you attempt to do better for yourself, they're going to try to pull you down. Crabs in a barrel, and that happened to me a lot. Woody the celebrity. What are you talking about? Yeah, that could happen a lot, man. So it's so important and key of who we allow around us. Um, and you got to evolve and grow. And sometimes it takes cutting people off, especially when you see as you're trying to evolve and grow, they're doing things to try to pull you down. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut these people off. And that affects your frequency and vibration. And when you get yourself in a positive headspace to where you start using your imagination, using your vision, and start thinking of the life that you want, where you want to live, you being in a better position or situation, you'll be amazed at how events and conditions start moving in your favor. And a lot of times it don't make no sense. You could never fathom how you can get to that place. You have an idea, okay, I could work and do this and this. A lot of times it's not even gonna happen the way you're picturing it will happen. It will almost never happen the way you see it in your mind. These events, these circumstances that will move and work in your favor. But it does. It's amazing. Um, Give me 1 second. Woody, Josh Woody. Top fans, place for fans, send out community top these special kids. Shout out to Josh, man. Josh talking to me about I don't know what you nervous about, bro. Bro got up out of here. Um yeah. Uh that's what we touching on, man. That's what we touching on. So I've been working on clearing out my energy, man. Just clearing out my energy of negative people, negative things, negative environments. Sometimes you go to certain stores and they give you negative energy. I don't know. A lot of people have been telling me it's a New Jersey thing. Like it's New Jersey, and I think that's true. Jersey is filled with broken people. I don't know. It's a lot of negativity out here, but um, once you clear your energy out, it just changes everything. you attract more, you attract better, you start thinking better, you start getting more focused because you don't have those negative people around you pulling you down. You don't have people around you that kind of want to sabotage you because they're afraid that once you evolve and grow that you might leave them behind because they don't want to change. They want you to stay exactly where they are so they can feel comfortable. They say misery loves company, bro. So they want to keep you right where they are so you never grow because they're afraid that if you grow, you're gonna realize that maybe you need to leave them behind. And it's not about thinking that you're better than anyone. It's about wanting better for yourself. It's about wanting to do better, have a better life. You wasn't meant to be down in the slums all your life. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't meant to be impoverished and poor, out of shape, unhealthy, walking around on low vibration, low frequency, but some people don't want to wake up. If you want it, you want it. You can have it, but if you don't, you don't. Well, I ain't get on here to it's like people want me to get on here and start dancing or something. I didn't really get on here to do any of that. I just came here to teach this message, man. It's, people come on here got different. It's like when they get on live, people got all these different expectations. That's cool, but I know what I'm here to do, right? So these environments that you've been in, I was listening to the audiobook version of 50th Law of Power, the 50th Law. And it talked about how the environments that you're in, a lot of times it shapes your self-esteem. And this relates exactly to what I'm talking about in terms of the people you have around you and the energy. A lot of people that are in the same situation that you're in, like if it's an impoverished community, and y'all all down in a certain place, a lot of people would try to treat you a certain way or talk to you in a certain way in order to make sure that you stay down with everybody else. And it's really designed to lower your self-worth and lower your belief. They don't want you to believe that you can do better because they don't believe they could do better. People in this environment, they could be walking around kind of hopeless. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't think they could do any better. They don't think they could come out of this situation. They think that they're going to be in this place for the rest of their life. So when they see somebody else or see you working to make it out, subconsciously or even consciously, they'll work to keep you down with them. They'll plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They'll laugh at any mistake that you have. They'll try to lower you because it's designed to break your belief so that you'll be hopeless like them. And that's why a lot of people don't change and evolve and get into a better situation for themselves because they're like, it's a hopelessness. It's not that they don't have the resources, not that they couldn't get themselves in a better situation. But once you lose all hope, you're done. Once you lose all belief, you're done. In my opinion, once you have both hands with you, you're alive, your heart is beating, you can make anything happen. You could get yourself into a better situation. But it's like sometimes when your environment is impoverished and low vibrational, or you might not even be in poverty, but you just around a certain group of people and you're trying to do more for yourself, but they want to stay the same. You gotta separate yourself from them in order to grow. Because if you stay down with them, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose being where they are, having the same mentality, having the same habits, waking up at the same time, not having a routine. Shout out to Asher Hall. Not, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not gonna evolve. So sometimes these people they plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They make jokes at your dreams. They make jokes of you having a better situation, getting a better car, right? Dressing better, looking better, being able to travel, moving into your own place. Like they make jokes at that because they don't want to see you have it. They want you to stay down right with them. And it's crazy, man. So your environment affects so much of what you do. And I'd rather be by myself than with negative people that don't really want to go anywhere, that don't want to really evolve, uh, um, don't want nothing better for themselves. And especially when you see how when you trying to evolve, they're trying to keep you down and pull you down with them. Nah. So this stuff is really important. You gotta cleanse your circle. You gotta make sure you have people around you that wanna do better and have more. Those people that want you to stay the same, they want to keep you down. Those people, you gotta cut them off. Those negative people that mock your dreams, that tell you you're delusional for wanting better and wanting. You're not delusional. How are you delusional for believing and dreaming of doing better and having a better life? That's not delusion. You're supposed to want that. But I realized even in my own life, like I had people around me that was like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want better. They don't want to. They want to stay right where they are, and they want to make sure that you stay right there with them. That's crazy. Sad, yo. And it's like some people they hopeless and they just see themselves being stuck in that same place, and they hate anybody. They really hate anybody that want to do better for themselves. So they'll pull you down at all costs. They'll pull you down at all costs. You'll be surprised at the things people will do to try to destroy you so that you can stay down with them so they could control how you move. Most people don't want to see you do better. That's why when you have goals, when you have dreams, when you have aspirations, don't tell anybody anything. Don't tell nobody nothing. Because when you tell people what you have going on, they're going to try to keep you down. They're going to try to sabotage it. Most people don't want to see you do better. Most people don't like that. That's kind of rare in this world. You know what I'm saying? It's rare for people to want. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody is motivated, driven, or see things in that way. But you got to learn how to protect yourself from these people. But most importantly, don't say nothing. A lot of your progress or success can be disrupted or sabotaged just by talking. You know what I'm saying? By people being aware of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Because folks ain't happy for you. A lot of people, and one thing I realized about um, success and things that I've been working to achieve and things I've been accomplishing, even with content, it's like, don't expect people to be happy for you. And it's not always hate, it's not always jealousy or envy, but it's like if people aren't happy with themselves and happy with what they got going on in their own life, will make you think they're gonna be happy for you. Will make you think they're gonna be there for you. Will make you think, uh, yeah, I do. Um, I do believe I'm already in abundance right now. And it's not just about the dollars that you have in your bank. It's about like the relationships that you have, um, the energy that you're vibrating on, the being productive. And I don't think it's crazy to believe that you can live in abundance. You know what abundance means for a lot of people? Abundance is the ability to fully being able to pay your expenses. Abundance is having people in your life that that respect you and value and love you. Abundance is all that. It's all things. It's not just financially. He said emotions are way too complicated than duality of hate and envy. That's true. Who said you have to be productive? You do have to be productive. Um, I don't really understand what the point you're trying to get at with that last point of being productive, but yeah, a lot of the emotions that people carry that sometimes they project onto you, a lot of it is insecurity within themselves. And if they just try to, some people attack the person that's closest to them or the person that's the most vulnerable, right? So it doesn't necessarily always means that they envy or jealous of the person that they're in a relationship with, but they're carrying so much pain and trauma and insecurity. Your light may disturb their demons. You being happy may trigger something in them because they haven't been happy in a long time. Some people live their lives in this like angry way because they're upset, they're traumatized, they're insecure. And out of these insecurities, they can project it onto the people that's around them because it's the only way they can feel better about themselves and what they have going on. I have friends like that. I have people that were wrestling, battling with all type of stuff without even realizing it, super insecure. And I'll be wondering, yo, why is this person lashing out? Why this person always got something negative to say when I got something positive that I'm doing? Somebody give me a compliment, they get mad. Somebody is applauding something that I did, they're upset. What's going on? Right? Camia B said, I mean, I just hate anything from hustle culture. And that's my point. Like getting money and stuff is going to heal traumas. No, of course it's not. And I hate the hustle culture too, bro. Or if you're a lady. But I hate the hustle culture too because I used to think about that. Work, work, work. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. Now, I do think that when you working towards what you want or you developing a skill or a craft, you got to put a lot into it. Like you just, like the cell phone I have right now, Steve Jobs and his team, they didn't just put this together like one, two. Nah, they studied, you know what I'm saying? Electronics, they studied the infrastructure and everything, and they built it, right? And they worked really hard over a period of time to develop the most perfect product as they possibly could. So you do need to work hard on yourself and your life, but in terms of running around hustling, 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 I disagree with that too because hustle doesn't improve your finances. Skill does, execution does, value does. And as it relates to trauma, a lot of times the reason why you're financially not further ahead, a lot of times is because we're carrying these traumas that affect our emotions, and most human beings spend emotionally. Most people on a day-to-day basis, when they spend money, it's an emotional decision. They feel sad and depressed, so they go get cookies and ice cream. You ever watch a movie, y'all? You ever see the movie where the girl, she's in this relationship, but then something happens and she has a crazy breakup and she gets sad and depressed. What's the next scene? The next scene is her on a couch with her girlfriends eating ice cream. When you think about Valentine's Day, chocolate, Christmas, Thanksgiving, food, like people are driven by food, and a lot of times your emotions influences how you eat, and that influences how you spend. So somebody that's sad and depressed or feel love deprived, they go buy chocolate and sugar. Somebody that's stressed out, they crave salt, so they'll go get, you know what I'm saying, chips and all this type of stuff. So if you're emotional or depressed, sometimes people try to spend their way out of depression. If they feel lonely, they'll go somewhere and splurge to make themselves feel better. So if you work on yourself and heal your traumas, and you know, I journal a lot. I journal and I talk about like the things I've been through and how to handle it. I try to create solutions for myself. And once you start to deal and heal from these things from your past and realize what it really is, it changes how you look at yourself. It changes how you look at the world, and you're no longer spending emotionally. That's why my channel is big on self mastery, because if you don't have control over yourself, you're going to spend crazy. You're going to mess up relationships. You're going to tarnish opportunities that you should have seized. You know what I'm saying? But if you're still walking around traumatized, emotionally scarred, and you're not working on dealing with these things and resolving these issues within yourself, now you don't care about yourself. You don't care about your health. Your mind isn't in the right place. So you spending money on bad things that isn't even increasing your value. You want to get healthier, but you said, man, fuck it, I'm going to McDonald's. I don't care. That's because your brokenness is speaking to you. That's going off of your brokenness. So you spending hard-earned money that you have to buy food that's gonna make you sick or that's gonna make you fat. You don't really have the money, but because you so insecure about yourself and you're still traumatized, you're buying sneakers that you really can't afford so that you can look good and flex on people who don't even care about you. You see what I'm saying? So these traumas affect how you it affects your financial well-being. It affects the way you think. It affects how you deal with people, how you talk to people. You know what I realized? We talk to people based off of projection. So if I don't like who I am, if I hate myself, now it's fuck you. Now I don't like you because I don't like myself. If I'm insecure about how I look, now you ugly. If I feel like I'm a coward, now you a bitch. Now you a bitch ass nigga and all this, right? If you know what I'm saying? If I'm broke, I'm gonna call you Dusty. Now you Dusty. If I'm not enjoying my day, I'm gonna try to make your day miserable. You see what I'm saying? Like we project all the time. And that's what helped me to realize about these negative experiences that I had before is like, yo, these ways that people treated you, it had nothing to do with you. These people were just broken, carrying all type of trauma, insecurities. And it's only a matter of time where these people crash out and everybody finds out who they really are, right? A lot of people carrying their brokenness and they project it onto you. A lot of the, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you're in a relationship with somebody and they saying all type of crazy stuff. They're not happy with themselves, yo. So many people aren't happy with who they are. So how the hell they gonna be happy with you? How they gonna treat you right? How they gonna be kind to you? How they gonna be good to you in the relationship if they don't even have a good relationship with themselves? People are mean and nasty because they're miserable. It has nothing to do with you. You ain't even doing it nothing wrong. You know how many times I went to like a Starbucks, a Dunkin' Donuts, or just a store in general, and I'm walking in, and sometimes the cashiers are giving me a negative attitude as I'm just trying to order my stuff, and I'm like, in my mind, I start backtracking. Okay, I walked in. I said, hello, how are you? I looked up at the menu. I start ordering. I look back down and she's saying this or she giving me this energy. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. I ain't even do anything to this person. That's because people are not happy with themselves, fam. So they project it onto you. They project the negativity. They project their trauma. They project their insecurities. If somebody is insecure about themselves and they got low self-esteem, they're going to try to shoot your confidence down. That's one thing about an insecure person, somebody that doesn't have self-worth, they don't know what that feel like or look like. They hate to see people with confidence. Now, guess what? Now you arrogant. Now you think you better than everybody. It's not that you think you better than everybody. They're just mad that you possess the confidence and the self-esteem that they wish they had. They don't even know what that feels like. You understand me? So a lot of these things that we experience on a day-to-day basis are actually these traumas. A lot of these traumas don't even, it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with people walking around in pain, people walking around just mad at themselves, regretting situations that they didn't take advantage of, resentful, hurt, traumatized, whatever it is. And now you just so happen to be the person that they come across and they just lash it out onto you. You didn't even do anything wrong, but you just have to be the person at that moment in time to where they had the most access to. You were in the closest proximity. You were the closest person to them, so you just happen to be the person that they latched onto. They were projecting it onto you, but you did nothing wrong. So these experiences, yeah, they're very painful. These experiences have nothing to do with us, yo. It's really has nothing to do with us. People walking around in pain And hurt people. And that's what I had to realize. That's what helped me to start kind of like beating myself up about the situations that I've been in and been through. Because when you really look back at it, there was nothing ever wrong with you. You just was around people that were in pain. Some people are in unbearable pain. Um, and they project it. I don't know how to dance anymore, just living this fucked up defensive state. What do you mean by that, dance? And yeah, when you talk about the people in the this capitalist society, yeah, of course they benefit from your trauma. Of course they benefit from all that. You know what I'm saying? Like they you know what it is? They prey on people with low self-worth. That's what it's about. And you really got to wake up out of the matrix and realize that the more you walk around angry, emotional, broken, insecure, trying to prove yourself to people, trying to prove that you get fly, trying to prove that you got money, trying to when you walk around trying to prove yourself to people, you'll go out of your way and spend money that you don't have just to impress people that don't even like you. You know, you trying to impress all these people because you broken, because you don't know your own value. So you're trying to prove it to people instead of knowing your value within yourself. Because when you know who you are, you don't need to prove nothing to nobody. You could care less about what people think because what people think has nothing to do with your identity. When you fully tapped in and know who you are, you're not trying to prove yourself to nobody. Because who is they? Who is they to impress? Um, And that's why a lot of times celebrity culture is dangerous. Nowadays, everybody is celebrity. You don't even need to be in Hollywood per se, in on the red carpet. You don't need to, with this content shit, you could be a celebrity all you want. And I appreciate you for tapping in, bro, on the channel. Hit the like button if you did. Um, Shoot super chats and all that is welcome as well. But with the celebrity culture, they got people that work regular jobs and don't have that level of status and fame feeling like inadequate. This like this gap that they created makes people feel inadequate and they feel like they're special if they feel like they're special if they're actual celebrity, but you already are that. Whether the camera's on you or not, whether you're in Hollywood or not, you are already special. You are already great within your own self, even if you're not on TV. So a lot of people at home that look up at these celebrities and what they're doing and what they're wearing and how they're shopping, they can start to feel kind of insecure. Like, damn, I want to look like that. I want all that attention. Now, why do you think they use celebrities for commercials and brands? Because they're trying to influence you to buy the product so that you can look like and feel like and have the status of Nicki Minaj and have the status of that rapper, that athlete. Because they want you to feel like if you buy that product that they're modeling, that's gonna help you to become that person. That's gonna help you to arrive to that level of superstardom and status. And come on now. He said, yo, just imagine everyone would be their true self. That's a fact. Oh my God. Woo! You hit it on the head with that one. My God. That's a whole fact. And that's incredible, man. What would happen to the world if people would really be their true selves? If we weren't caught up on what other people think about us, if we weren't comparing ourselves to other people, if we didn't care about celebrity, if we really stood grounded in who we were and we just were ourselves and we didn't need external validation, we weren't seeking approval, and I think the world would be a lot healthier place. If people were their true selves, bro, in that sense, the world would be so much better, and a lot of people will have a lot more money. And you know what I realized? What I've been discovering about humans is it may sound kind of strange, but Most people aren't themselves. A lot of people right now are operating as the version of themselves that they have been conditioned to be through their parents, through school, through the society, right? Through social media and the people and the things that they're being influenced by as they're scrolling. We're operating as a person that we've been conditioned to be. We're creatures of habit, so we can be conditioned to be a certain way, to think a certain way, to feel a certain way. Why do you think people have anxiety and depression? You weren't born with anxiety and depression. You weren't born anxious. You weren't born afraid. You weren't born with low self-esteem. You weren't born angry or and miserable. You weren't born miserable and mad at people. You've been conditioned. Certain things have affected you, and you haven't figured out how to get it out of your system. So when you start to decode these things, when you start to face these things and write them down, journal them, or just think about them and face them, you can start to unwind and peel back these onions to where you can get back to your true self. And I think I've gotten really close to becoming my child self again. And I don't mean by being irresponsible like a child. I mean the version of you that you was before the world conditioned you. That's the version of you that you need to be. The version of yourself that you were born as before the world conditioned you. If you could get close to that point or to that point, you've arrived. And I'm getting there. And I love people just being themselves, man. You don't need to impress nobody. You don't need to prove yourself to nobody. You don't need to be liked by nobody. The coolest thing is being yourself. And a lot of times people are not their true selves because there's so much going on in terms of like social status and what's popping and what's cool. So a lot of people are like, um, a lot of people are afraid to be themselves because they're afraid that if they be themselves, they're not going to fit in. They don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be left out. They don't want to be rejected. You know, they don't want to miss out on the wave. They don't want to miss out the boat. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be left behind. And a lot of times when you're yourself, you get kind of pushed out. Um, but I respect people, and people in general respect somebody that's themselves. It's nothing wrong with being different. And you could be different and cool, different and popping in your own way. You don't have to be like everybody else to be cool. You could be cool in your own way. You know what I'm saying? And I've been that way for a while, man. I don't like following what other people do a lot. I don't like to like if I see some people dressing in a certain way, being a certain way, um, or I'm gonna dress like them so I could fit in and I think that's kind of lame. I think it's better for you to have your own style, move on your own, move how you move and do your own thing, and just find people around you that are like minded and build that way. But yeah, a lot of people are not themselves, man. A lot of people are walking around right now. You'll be surprised how many people are just faking it just to fit in. They don't talk the way they really talk. They don't like the way they have become the person that they felt they needed to be so that they can fit in with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I can't really do that. It's just I no I just can't. I can't do it. But I found a lot of people that really rock with me just off of me being me. So it works. It worked. It worked. When you value yourself, when you celebrate who you are and you in love with yourself, and you know what I'm saying, you become popping, you become the leader. So instead of you trying to fit in with everybody else, now everybody trying to fit in with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to get to that point of really getting true and being authentic and being grounded. Get away from trying to prove yourself to people because you already enough. That's why people do it. That's why they try to prove themselves, try to fit in because they don't feel like as they are right now, they're enough. So they feel like they gotta wear this, put their hair like this, get this type of face tattoo, wear these kind of shoes, just to fit in at the table, just to be accepted, just to be liked. You'll be surprised. Some of your celebrities are like that. I remember Tupac. I like watching clips of Tupac sometimes. Pac was like, yo, I'm really a nice guy. He was like, I'm really a nice guy. I just became this thug because nobody would really rock with me if I wasn't a thug. That's how I got the respect. That's how I got the fame. That's how I'm getting the money. That's how I got the girls because I'm this thug. And like he's really like, he said if it was up to him, he would just be a nice guy. He would just be himself and he wouldn't be trying to be hard and gang banging all the time. But he knew he had to become that version of himself to get certain things he wanted within this matrix. And by the matrix, I mean by the way the society is conditioned and what people accept and what people really respect and gravitate towards, he had to become that version of himself to get what he needed. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was to be himself, he wouldn't make it. So he had to adopt this thug character. You know, talk about, and there ain't nothing wrong with tapping into that dark masculine. There's nothing wrong with being tough. There's nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying? But the image that he had, the image that he created was kind of like away from who he really was as a person. And a lot of it was just acting. A lot of it was just putting on a show just to get the money, just to get the career, just to get, you know what I'm saying? Um, so it was kind of acting. A lot of famous people in the past became that way. They kind of acted their way to fame. That's not who they really are though. But they knew that if they had to get there, they got to put on a certain character, a certain image based off of how the world is. Because if they were to show up and be themselves, they wouldn't really, you know what I'm saying? But then again, there's other people who the reason why they're so successful is because they're themselves. They're authentic. They're free. They're not trying to prove themselves to people. They're in love with who they are and they celebrate themselves. They wear what they wear. They think the way they think. Their personality is authentic. And that's what makes them blow up. For everybody, not just no celebrity. I'm talking about anybody that's successful in any business, any career path. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a complex world, but you can handle it so simply. Complex world, man. So, yeah, man, that's why I feel like it's so important to look at your trauma, your pain, the things that you've been through, because when you work through that, you can find that authentic self. You can not only find yourself, but build yourself to be better. You can build a better version of yourself. You can build the person that you really dream of, the person that you admire, that you look at on social media, on TV, or somebody in history, right? This person could no longer be alive anymore. The person that you really admire, you could become a version of that. You could become like that person if you worked on yourself. If you face your own traumas, because a lot of your purpose is in your pain. A lot of the bad, evil, messed up things that was done to you or the traumas that you carry, if you deal with that, that becomes your life purpose. So if you broken, your work could be to heal people. If you carry certain insecurities about yourself from experience that you had, once you face that, that can make you want to overcome it, and now you're inspiring everybody else. So a lot of your purpose is in your pain. Hit the like button for those of you who watching. I don't know how these lives be, the numbers be going up and down, but if you're in the chat looking, man, hit the like button. Let me know what you're thinking about the video, the content. Drop a, drop a comment so I can know how you feel about it. But yeah, you can become the version of you that instead of idolizing and worshiping some celebrity or some person in your community or just pedestalizing everybody else, you could become that version of yourself that you could be proud of. You know what I'm saying? And that was my mission for myself, me personally. I don't want to really, I'd rather look up to myself, and I do now. After I developed myself over the years, I become the type of person that if I was my younger self, I would look up to me. You know what I'm saying? And that was the goal. But you got to work through it. You got to work through these childhood experiences, these traumas, these insecurities that aren't even real most of the damn time. You got to work through them. Unpack yourself. You're a whole package. You unpack yourself and find your authentic self and love that self. Love who you truly are. Once you find out who you really are, love who you really are. I'm going to say that one more time because that was dope. Once you unpack all the bullshit, the trauma, the insecurities, the flaws that you have within yourself, once you unpack that and you find who you really are, love that version of yourself. Because you will never become authentic unless you love who you truly are. I'd rather be loved for who I really am than to be loved for who I'm not. You know? So, man, we at that point. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. Get the likes up. For anybody else that comes in and watches this live after I get out of here, you understand what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about the video. It was a lot in here that we unpacked. I got about to charge my phone up, get some rest, get a little something to eat. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace and blessings to all y'all beautiful people out there. See you again tomorrow. Peace.